Hey guys, so I will say, excuse my voice, I sound like a man right now. I don't know what's happening. I think I'm losing my voice. But anyways, I did not film myself with the tip application process or the prep. I just did my normal prep routine. I will be making an in-depth video about that. But now I'm just going ahead and taking Bad and Boujee, and I am making a French tip. If some of you have never used Bad and Boujee, I will say it does dry a little bit quicker than Valentino's other powders, so keep that in mind. But it's perfect for molding French. You see it's not running. It's such an easy way to do it. Best acrylic powder. Love it. 10 out of 10. And for the glitter, I am mixing and layering two Nail House glitters. They're so good. I'm using Pink Opal and Disco. Now, the reason I'm using these two, they give off kind of like different effects. They have different colored glitters in it. And with the stones you're going to see me using, you're going to see why I wanted to use the Pink Opal. So now I'm going to start my layering of my glitter acrylics. I'm putting down Pink Opal first, and then I'm going in with Disco. Disco is more of a mylar, and Pink Opal is, that chunky glitter. The reason I did that is I want it to be lit from within. I really wanted nice dimension, and you can already tell that is just so pretty. Like, look at it. Now, when doing these, you are going to have to encapsulate when they're chunky. You don't want to drill into it. It's going to mess up the whole look. So make sure that you put on your layers thin and always pat into place so you have minimal filing. I am going over it with the Bad and Boujee, and I'm just feathering it down. Now, the Bad and Boujee, if you do use a thinner bead, it will look translucent, and that's a look that I really was going for. As you can tell, everything blends together super nicely. When you cap, don't have to cap the Bad and Boujee. Just cap from the apex downwards to save you product and filing time. And since I didn't record the tip application, I will say, you notice my cousin, she has a wider thumbnail and she has very, very short nail beds. Where her finger tip stops, the nail stops halfway. So she honestly has only a couple centimeters of length. We never ever have issues of her nails coming off, and it's all because of how I place the nail tips. I take the nail tips and I do flatten the C curve out a little bit, and then I dip the tip, the Wellen monomer, to etch it. Now, I don't know if you can kind of tell, but I cut off the top of the tip. So you know how it has that nice curve to fit in your sidewalls? I cut that off so it's more flat, and it gives me absolutely zero issues when I'm doing her nails. As you could tell, everything is blending in nicely. The nail tip isn't sitting on top of her nail. It's not popping off. It's filed to perfection. That's just a tip I have when it comes to wider nail beds and short nail bed space for tip application. You can always go ahead and do a nail form. Now here I'm just refining my nail bed that I did the French on. I want to make sure it is as sharp as possible so I don't lose my shape. Now you're gonna see me take a little bit of white. I'm using Valentino's super white for this application, and I'm literally only putting this along the sidewall, not the sidewall, what is this called, the smile line. Oh my gosh, I'm putting it along the smile line to define it. And now I'm gonna give you guys a little tip that I've learned. Whenever you do glitter Frenches, you're going to lose the sharpness and the depth of your look. It's gonna go away. It's gonna look too blended in. You know, you want to stay super crispy, right? Put a little bit of a color that's like cohesive with it. Right now I'm using white. You can use pink if you're using a pink glitter, and it's gonna keep your French looking sharp and give you a nice dimension, a nice background for the glitters. So that's the only reason I'm putting white there. I wouldn't have added white if I didn't use glitter. Now we're getting into my filings process. As you see, I'm using my favorite files. They are the Agalor Co files. I may be butchering that, and so mind me. I use the 80/100 grit. I get this grit specifically for the way that I do my nails, if that makes sense. I use the 100 grit and I go on top like I'm doing now, and I'm smoothing out the surface of my nail. I flip it over and I use the 80 grit to sharpen my sidewalls and define my shape. Whenever you're sharpening your sidewalls, keep your file parallel. You want your file to be like perfect 90-degree angles every time, because you don't want to lose your shape. I've learned from trial and error from having customers come back and doing their fills that if I angled my file downwards in any kind of way, it narrows them out and then they lose their shape. You have to go back in with acrylic and build the sidewalls. It's not good, and if you also overfile, you do run the risk of cracking of your nails, cracking. The natural nail will pop out. It's just a whole mess. So when you're doing tapered square, keep everything parallel, and how I'm doing now, and I'm refining the tip, keep that straight as well, because when the client flips her hand over and looks at it, it's going to look like a C curve facing her way, if that makes sense. You just want to keep it straight and everything will go smoothly. Also, you see on my thumbs and my pointer finger, I get medical gauze, like the restickable medical gauze, and I just put it on my thumb and finger. It protects your skin. Usually I wear a glove, but I ran out, so if you don't like to wear gloves and that hinders you, definitely go grab this. They're affordable. They come in many colors if you don't like the beige, and they're just easy to work with. Now we are on to Efiling. Now this blue bit is a cuticle bit. It is called the Game Changer bit. I purchased it from Studio Nail Supply. They have an online shop. If I can, I will link it below. This is not a diamond bit. This is a carbide bit. So do not use it on the natural nail. Even though it is a cuticle bit, it will tear the nails the fuck up and it will damage your client's nails. Strictly acrylic, ladies. So right now you see I'm using it. I'm just going ahead and I'm basically blending in and making my acrylic flush. The reason you want to do this is so when the nails grow out, there is absolutely no line of demarcation. It's super like, oh, you can't even tell what's acrylic and what's not, and that's what you want. And that also prevents you from getting lifting. You will have no fungus because there's no water getting trapped in the nail. It's just overall a game changer bit. Now if you are using a safety bit or a barrel bit, which are wider at the top, and you can't really get in there like a 5-in-1 tapered bit because not everybody likes a tapered bit, then go ahead and purchase this and just add it to your routine. You will definitely, like, trust me, you will see a whole change with your application, the longevity, and just the quality of your nails in general. And now we are using my all-time favorite bit. It is the 5-in-1 tapered barrel bit. I use it in the fine grit only. Medium is just way too coarse for this. You don't want to leave any lines in the nail. So what I'm doing, I am just going ahead and taking down some of the bulk. The 5-in-1 bits are great because the top point of the barrel is super small grit. I know I'm stumbling over my words, I'm so sorry. And the bottom of it is more coarse, so you can go ahead and angle it down and take off bulk. It's great for cutting down the length of nails, taking down the C curve, defining the C curve, or how I'm doing it now, using it around the cuticles just to finish up sealing from what I did with the last bit, and then blending in the bulk of the nail, taking some of it down, making it super flush. And the reason also I love the fine grit, it almost buffs it for me. I don't have any ridges in my nails, which I used to have with higher grits. So here I'm just going ahead and finishing off my nails. I already buffed them and wiped them with swipe. Now I'm doing my Bling Design. The only bling adhesive that I use is Zulay. It is a resin, so be very careful when you're using it. Do not get it in your top coat and make sure it's fully dry. You're gonna see me go in with a spray, the Hurry Up aerosol spray. Use that from a distance to avoid any yellowing of the resin or cloudiness, and you'll be a-okay. Now these opal stones are just gorgeous, ain't it? I get them from actually Hobby Lobby. They are the new Preciosa crystals since Swarovski don't fuck with us no more. And I see no difference. The quality is just as good. They don't peel from their backing like a hot fix would. Like, they're just really good quality. I definitely recommend it. You can also find them online from Blue Street Crystals if you do not have a Hobby Lobby in your area, or they just don't have this colorway. They're just the opal. Now the small clear stones, they are Swarovski crystals, and the large charms and the caviar beads are a mixture of Studio Nail Supply and Amazon. Studio Nail Supply has them, but I purchased a refill pack from Amazon. Now the charm on the thumb came in that refill pack from Amazon, so if you want this exact look, I will link the Amazon link below. But they are such good quality. The gems are super shiny. Like, I am so far in love with them. I do top coat the gold part to prevent any turning, but I haven't really realized any turning with these, so 10 out of 10 recommend. Really nice quality. So if you didn't know, now you know. I'm really extra, and I would just kind of like, it needed more pizzazz. So I went in with the NAILZ by Dev white gel liner and her Hello Cute liner brush, and I'm just outlining my smile line. And I'm gonna use this really gorgeous, super finely milled, like tiny glitter, and sprinkle sugar that on top. I will leave it below. It is a Creation Fairy Dust. It is shade number 1 if you're wondering, but I will have a link below. And look at that, it just adds a little bit of gorgeousness. Like, I feel like it just ties the whole look together, brings in all the stones. It's just gorgeous. And with the line being so thin, it's just a barely there kind of design. Right now I'm just top coating it. I am using a new top coat. It is a not polished glossy. I actually really like it. It's a thicker top coat. Y'all know I love me some thick top coats. Shout out to Valentino and Nail House top coats. But I do like it. It is a non-wipe, but I did learn a tip. I went to a little, nail event. Allow your top coat to cool down for like 2 minutes before touching it, and it will stay super like patent leather shiny. It will not dull. So that's what I did, and you guys will see these nails came out freaking poppin', just poppin'. Now for the oil, I'm using my favorite oil. It is by Nail Cakery. I use the scent Unicorn Cupcake. Love it. It's like coconut, vanilla. Oh my god, it's like a bakery. I put that all over the nails and push it upwards into the cuticle. And then I use a small brush. It comes in a cuticle pen that I actually sell for my clients. And I just go around and I seal the cuticle. You want to make sure you're sealing the cuticle to prevent any lifting. You're saying maybe, oh, it's oil, you're putting oil in the nail. No, you've already done all the drilling to seal it with that. This is just gonna, moisten and hydrate the nail. Let your clients know when their nails are dry, that will lead to lifting because it will separate. So keep it moisturized and your nails will be coming out bomb. And that is the completed look. Hope you guys liked it. Comment, subscribe, share my stuff, and more tutorials will be coming out 1 or 2 every week. Bye.